say yes to a lot of things before I know all of the details, before I know how it is going to work, how it's going to happen, where, when, who. I usually know why. That's the information I do have, but I say yes to a lot of things. So I'm going to let you in behind the scenes on the means to my madness today. This is an episode of Live Your Yes Life, where we share channeled thoughts, discussions, and interviews on what it takes to go from dreaming and wishing to actively living your yes life. I'm Kaela. This is a solo episode with me. I am one of the co-founders of Rise Leadership Circle, a business that I run with my mom, Lisa and we coach soulful leaders, high achievers, entrepreneurs, professionals, moms who've got it going on. We coach humans who are here to be a yes to themselves, to actually have the thing that they want in life. I'm really excited. We're currently doing a 1K cash giveaway. I'm going to tell you the details about that. Be sure you stay till the end so you can hear all about it, because we're putting $1,000 in somebody's pocket, and it would be so fun if that was yours, don't you think? Okay, so today let's talk about one of the secrets to my success. Someone else could say this is one of the things that is, somebody else could have a different judgment. I won't even put whatever other judgment, I won't put that out there. But I will say that I believe this is one of the secrets to my success, which is that I say yes to things, many things, big things, small things all the time, before I have all of the information. I often don't know how or when or who. Like I said before, I usually just know why, and that is enough for me. So just a few things come to mind as I think about what kind of things have I often or have I previously just said yes to without knowing how or having all the information. And a couple of the big ones are deciding to become a coach. This was definitely something that I jumped into before really knowing how it was going to go out. Another really big one was leaving my 9-to-5 job to become an entrepreneur. I definitely did not know how this was going to work. So that was a big one. Getting a dog, becoming a dog mom. I had dogs before, but I did not know what I was doing, my friends. I was unprepared. And I adopted a dog. I had been looking for a dog, wanting a dog. But the day that I adopted my first dog, Murray, it was on a whim. And so that was one that I just jumped in. And buying my new lake house. If you've listened to any of my previous podcasts, you might have heard me talk about this big, beautiful dream that I manifested this year of a lake house with my husband in Upper Michigan. And that was also something that we stepped into in a huge way, expedited our timeline by like 2 to 5 years and jumped right in. So just know that if you are someone that also says yes before you know how, you are in really good company here. And if you're not, if you are like, ooh, actually, I like all of the information. I like all of the details. I'm not here to make you wrong. I'm not here to say that you should stop doing that. But I hope that as you listen in, you may see some new possibilities for yourself, or just another way that you can access maybe another part of you that is interested in this. And I will say, this being said, that I'm claiming this as my superpower. It's not the only way that I make decisions. There are also other times when I do let myself information gather and have more data, more details. But if I'm being honest, that's really not my favorite. Sometimes I know that it's important to do that, but I often find that it's not the way I really like to operate or make decisions, and I don't really always need to. That for me, personally, it really works well to say yes before I know how. So let's get into this. I'm here to live an amazing life, and I believe that that is why all of us are here. I believe that everyone is here to experience freedom, abundance, love, riches, vitality. The list could go on. And I am a stand for us being a yes to that, for not limiting ourselves or toning ourselves down or taming ourselves. I am really a stand for us being a full body yes to the things that are in our alignment and that call to us. And to me, these things often come they call me and they do not have all of the information. And so one of the things that I have mastered is being able to trust myself to step in when I am being called and really rely on the information that I do have, which is why. So this is really the one tip that I have that I believe makes the biggest difference. The reason that I'm able to say yes to myself and my desires without knowing how is because I know why. I think if I didn't know why, then this would get messy and it probably wouldn't work. But I always know the why. So whenever I experience a calling, like resigning from corporate America to become an entrepreneur, or adopting my puppy, or buying our lake house, suddenly changing our plans in a few days after we had been planning to build over the next 5 years and buy this house, is because I could be clear on my intention. So having desires and intention for our desires is a really big step that is crucial if we are living our yes life. So I'd love for you to think about, what is it that you really are calling in for yourself? What is the dream, the desire, the experience of life? What's the thing that you could use all of your senses to imagine? And I would love to use my lake house as the example that I walk through because it's so fresh and relevant for me. So for the last couple years, I have been every single morning and often throughout the day imagining myself using all of my senses to put myself in the dream experience that I want to have with my life living on the lake in Upper Michigan. And I would see myself, what I was doing, what I was wearing, who I was with. I would imagine the fresh air that I could smell as I'm walking down by the lake in the morning. I would imagine tasting the breakfast that my husband Tom is chefing up for me in the kitchen as I come back from a walk by the lake, using all of my senses. And I did that to get me connected with my intention for having that experience. And I knew that what my intention was is to come home. That's it. It's to come home. I felt such a calling, such a divine pull to return to this land that my ancestors had lived on. There was a very particular place on the lake that I wanted to live, to be home by my family who lives in this area now, and to feel like I could really come home to myself, that I would be in this space where I could open up and explore and discover some deeper layers of myself that I just haven't let myself live yet. So I knew that my intention was to come home. And my husband and I made this big grand master plan of how we were gonna look for the land and get the land and then work with an architect and then do a build out and all of the things. And we knew that this was gonna take time, that it would take time to find the land, to first build the detached garage that we wanted with an apartment above it, and then to build our dream forever house. We thought this would be somewhere between 2 to 5 years. And so when suddenly, magically, one day, the house that I wanted to build shows up exactly in the space that I was looking for land, I did not know how it would be that we would expedite this 2 to 5 year plan to be right now. I didn't know how it would all come together. I didn't know if it would work, but I knew why I was a yes to this for myself. I knew what my intention was. I knew what my commitment to myself was. And that was enough. So the biggest tip that I have on how it is that we say yes before we know the how is we know why. We know what our desire is. We know what our intention is for that desire. And we allow ourselves to spend time and snuggle up to that on a consistent basis, at least daily, if not more than that. It's something that I'm really passionate about. And when we can do that, and we can stay open to being guided by our intention and our desire, then we can be open for the details to reveal themselves as they are meant to. We can actually sow what we need while we are going. One of the things that I say all the time is I like to jump and knit my parachute on the way down. And this is certainly how I live my life in many ways. Because I could spend so much time knitting my parachute that I never even get on the plane, if I'm following this analogy. And when I actually let myself know why it is that I'm making the choices that I'm making, why is enough. The why is enough, and the how can be revealed. So I'd love for you to think about what's something that's really calling to you. What's a big desire that is calling to you? And are you sabotaging yourself trying to figure out the how? Are you working so hard to figure out how all of the pieces are going to come together? Because something that I really learned is that the pieces reveal themselves one step at a time. Like, we don't know what step D is because we don't need to know until we have step C. And I really have found that the more that I am focused on what is right here for me now, what is my desire, what is it that I'm willing to be a yes towards, and then when just the next step reveals itself, I take it, I follow that nudge and the next step, I can just take step after step after step after step, and it all comes together and it all works out. And this is absolutely what I have done for the things that I shared with you about at the top of this episode. Do you find that you sabotage, that you slow yourself down trying to figure out the details? This especially comes up for folks around the money piece of things, around thinking about, but I don't know how it is that I'll pay for it. And let me tell you, friends, that shows up for me a lot in life. Like when I decided to become a coach, I was at that point in my life, I was $100,000 plus in debt. And the certification program, the training and certification program that I wanted to take was $16,500. So you can bet that I did not know how I was going to pay for that. What I did know was how to go into debt. Remember, I was $100,000 in debt. I knew how to live paycheck to paycheck. I did not know how it was that I would generate the money for that. When I decided to leave my job and become an entrepreneur full time, I did not know how I would pay my bills. I didn't. The time that I left, I had 4 clients up until this point. All of their contracts had just ended. And so I started my entrepreneurial journey having 0 active clients and not really having any sense of how to get clients or how to build a sustainable business. I did not know how I was going to pay my bills. I just knew why it was that I was becoming an entrepreneur. I knew why I was following this path. When I got a dog, I did not know how I would arrange this in my schedule, how I would manage my travel schedule. There were many things I didn't know. I did not know how it was going to happen. And when we bought our lake house, we didn't really know all of the hows for this either. We had certainly had the money saved for a down payment. We had been saving to purchase land and to build, but I did not know how suddenly we were going to step into the finances to furnish a whole house when we were thinking we had 2 to 5 years, and now we're going to do it right now, and we're going to pay property taxes, and we're going to start paying a mortgage every month right now instead of 2 to 5 years down the road. So we did not have the hows all figured out, but we knew why. And that's the thing that I always come back to. I don't let not knowing how get in my way or slow me down, because what I know is that if I try to figure out how, I am just sabotaging myself. I know that I actually don't need to know how. The why is enough. And so I take the step and I let the next step come to me, and I just stay connected to my desire. I stay connected to my intention. This is really important. We can't lose sight of that. We stay connected the whole time. And as the steps reveal themselves to us, we follow. And that's what we do. We follow. I hope this is inspiring to you. I would love to hear. Send me a message on Instagram at Rise Leadership Circle. Let me know the big what you're wanting to be a yes to right now. And if you're willing to play with going for it without knowing how and letting the how reveal itself to you step by step. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage and some real self-mastery to be in a space of trust and resilience within yourself to navigate this. And I believe that it is incredibly, incredibly rewarding. We are doing something really fun inside of our brand new Facebook group right now. Our Facebook group is called Live Your Yes Life. It's the same name as this podcast. We're closing down our other Facebook group. We're shifting your energy. We're ready for something new. We're opening up a new container, a new space. So come join us and Live Your Yes Life, the Facebook group. And right now, when this episode is airing, we are doing a 1K cash giveaway. But PS, if you're listening to this at a later date, still go get in the Facebook group because we're planning to do this often. And so you're going to want to be sure that you know when the next cash giveaway is coming. So here's what's going to happen. Well, let me tell you why we're doing it. Then I'll tell you what's going to happen. We know why, right? We know why. We like to. We want to. We want to give someone money. We like money. We love receiving money. We love giving money. We love playing with money. And so as we come into this holiday season, we would love to give away somebody $1,000 of cash. We'll just Venmo you, PayPal you, however it is that we decide to get the money to you. that's what will happen. So here's how. There's 3 steps. Step number 1, request access to the Live Your Yes Life Facebook group. Step 2, make a post in the Facebook group sharing what your yes life would look like. So just let us know. What does it look like for you? Don't look for the right answer, what you think we want to hear. Tell us the truth. What does it actually look like for you to live your yes life? And if you were the winner of the $1,000, how would you use it to lean into that a little bit or a lot of it? How would you use this $1,000 to lean into truly living your yes life? And then 3, comment on 10 other people that are also participating. Celebrate them, let them know you see them, cheer them on, because it can be vulnerable and scary to really declare what our yes life is. And when we witness and hold space for other people who are doing this, it makes a really big difference. And then on November 22nd for this round, but there will be other rounds. So if you're listening to this at a later date, make sure you still hop in and see when the next round is happening. But for this current round on November 22nd, we will announce the winner, and that person will receive $1,000 cash to do with it what you will to live your yes life. We're super excited about this. Thank you for tuning in. It is our honor to serve entrepreneurs, professionals, high achievers, moms who've got it going on, people that are committed to having an experience of life that they are a yes for. We are here for you to help look at what's going on behind the scenes, the patterns that you're operating. We love working with you. Thanks so much for tuning in.